This week I'm going to give you an insight of why I switched to ConvertKit. Hi, I'm Sam Nordberg. Welcome to this week's mini training, and this week, as I said, I want to give you a small insight into why I switched to ConvertKit from MailChimp. So if you've been on my email list for a little while, you'll have noticed that the email started to look different, and I explained to everyone on the list that that's because I had switched mail providers. So I had been with MailChimp for approximately 5.5 years. It was a really long time. And don't get me wrong, MailChimp is a really good system for starting out. First of all, it's completely free for up to 2,000 users as long as you don't want any of the bells and whistles. Now, when I joined about 5.5 years ago, the whole system was completely free. That meant that when I got my free account, automation and all the drip-fed emails and everything was free as well. And because I'd had an account since that long ago, I got all of the features. So it's part of the reason I stayed with it for so long, because I was getting everything I needed. And the second thing was I'd got to a point where my list was of a size where I was using a paid MailChimp account anyway, and I'd been paying for MailChimp for about a year, and I got to a point and I realized it really wasn't doing everything I wanted it to do. And seeing as I was paying for a system, well, I may as well be paying for one that did the things I needed, right? I mean, free is all well and good, but if you're paying for it, you may as well get what you want. So this is when I started having a look around, and I looked at lots of things. I looked at Aweber, I looked at GetResponse, I looked at Constant Contact, I looked at MadMimi, and I then stumbled across ConvertKit, which was recommended to me by several friends. So I went and had a look at ConvertKit, and part of one of the biggest reasons that I decided to move to ConvertKit out of anything else, but specifically away from MailChimp, was because of the way it counts people on your lists. To start with, in ConvertKit, you actually don't have lists. So if you're a MailChimp user or one of the many other systems, what you normally do is have lists of people. So you might have a list of clients and a list of leads and a list that came from this webinar and a list of people over here. And then sometimes you've got people in 2 or 3 different places. Well, the thing with ConvertKit, this is going to be confusing today. The thing with ConvertKit is you don't have all those different lists. What you do is you have one list. You have one database full of people. And no matter how many things those people are a part of, it only ever counts them once. Now, this was the big kicker. In a lot of other systems, if someone is on a list over here and a list here and a list here, you pay for them 3 times. With Convert, you pay for someone once. It doesn't matter if they got your workbook and your webinar and your free download and they've joined your tribe and they're in your group. You pay for them once because they're one person. ConvertKit counts people by name, by email address. That's it. And that makes it really easy. What it then does is it allows you to tag and segment based on where they came from. So for example, I might have one person, her name might be Jenny. Hello, if you're Jenny and you're listening. Jenny might have come in through a free webinar, but she's also opted in for the free ebook and a free 7-day challenge. So what it does is Jenny's counted once and she's got 3 little tags telling me where she signed up for and where she came from. What that means then is that if I'm sending emails out, but I just want to send it to the people who came through the webinars, I just go and find the tag that said webinar, and then it sends it to those people in that tag. If I want to send the email to the people who came through webinars and free challenges and ebooks, then it goes and finds people with those tags. No matter how many tags Jenny has, it will only send her one email because she's one person and the system isn't silly. It knows that she's only one person with 3 tags and she only wants one email. She doesn't want 3. Who wants 3? So that's part of the reason I love the system so much. Another one of the reasons that I really like it is that then it can auto segment, so it can auto add and remove tags. You can set up rules a bit like if this, then that, whereby if Jenny then buys into your paid program, you can automate it. So if a new tag appears for paid program, it can remove the other tags. That way she won't get your sales emails anymore. The system can do that automatically. You just have to set up the rule to tell it to do that. One of the other things I really like is landing pages can be built directly inside it. So I don't use lead pages, otherwise that would be another expense, and instead I can do that directly inside ConvertKit. Now, some things to know, because of course it's not all perfect, as with everything else. One, it's fairly new. When it comes to like the scene and things like Infusionsoft and MailChimp, which have been around forever, ConvertKit hasn't been around for quite as long. It is fairly new, which means that they're still trying some things out. The upside of that is it means that they're still adding things. Just since I've become a user in the past, 2 months, They've added new functions and new techniques. They've added new ways that things segment and things list. And they're really on top of the ball when it comes to then telling you about those things. So yeah, it's still growing and it's still new. And that means that, of course, they'll take your feedback. So if you find something and you don't like it or you wonder why it's doing it, tell them. And they're often fairly willing to have a look at it. The other thing is they have a great support group and they're always willing to answer questions based on segmenting and tagging and on all those things that you might not be sure about. So that's ConvertKit. That's the reason I moved. Now, it doesn't have a free level. So if you're using MailChimp in a free level and it's doing everything you need it to do, fine. You know what? MailChimp was perfectly adequate. It worked well for me for many years. It did exactly what I needed it to do, really. You know, but if you're paying for something, make sure you're paying for something that's doing what you need it to do. And that's why I moved to ConvertKit, because it really changed the way I looked at emails, it changed the way I tagged things, and it gave me so many more opportunities for automating some of the system. Not the bit I wanted to automate, the communicating with people, but just the tagging and making sure people got the right emails and making sure you didn't piss people off by sending 5. So that's ConvertKit. I will leave some more details for you down below the email, but let me know what you're using, why you're using it, and what you think about it. And if you've got any issues about it or any questions about ConvertKit, just ask and I'm happy to give you my honest opinion. And as always, I will see you in the next video.